what I want to move to is my favourite story, I think, in showbiz this year. The Justin Baldoni war with Blake Lively, which seems to me, initially I felt quite sorry for Blake Lively, then I've been reading all the messages between them all, and which he's been putting out, obviously, and it just seems like a pair of absolute weapons-grade narcissists.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit.
Oh boy. Well, for what?
I'm just going to tell you, you're going to have to wait and see. It's coming up soon.
Somebody is not a fan. I'm a fan of the truth, or at least hearing all sides. And the more you know, the more perspective, context, and full understanding you can hopefully achieve.
In a startling revelation, according to British journalist Piers Morgan, Blake Lively, a Hollywood actress, is scheduled to testify against her husband Ryan Reynolds in a future trial, while there are still few specifics available regarding the matter. The entertainment industry has been rocked by Morgan's shocking revelation, and fans are now wondering what the accusations are about and whether the beloved Hollywood pair could face a serious scandal as a result.
Spray gunning each other with as much dirt as they can possibly do, having spewed lovey-dovey stuff to each other for months on end. And again, critical drinker, this is in your world. You know, I thought it was a great film. I got to say, I've not been to the cinema and actually sat through a movie and been as quiet and as attentive as I was to that in a long time. I thought it was very, very well done. A, do you agree? And B, what do you make of these two now just trying to destroy each other in public?
Well, A, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't speak
it's
to
really
that.
Good, honestly. I highly recommend it. I thought it was great. And they're both great in it, by
drama. Yeah, I mean, as for the drama between them, like, if what he's alleging is true, she sounds like an absolute
It concludes with us. Explores the complex issues of domestic abuse and trauma in this adaptation of Colleen Hoover's 2016 best-selling book. The film's delicate subject matter necessitated a thorough promotional campaign to take into account the impact on survivors and viewers. Blake Lively plays Lily Bloom, a woman stuck in a dysfunctional Lex relationship that changes from deep love to devastating disaster.
Story that covers domestic violence, but it's not about domestic violence, it's about this.
Let's talk about the way that Blake Lively has been promoting It Ends With Us and how it's problematic, especially for a movie about domestic violence. So you might have seen this promo video. It's still on the It Ends With Us TikTok account. And in this video, she is sitting next to, I believe, Colleen Hoover, and she tells the viewer to grab your friends, wear your florals, and go see the movie, implying this is a lighthearted movie, rom-com, chick flick, and it most definitely is not. Full disclosure, I haven't seen the movie yet. I've seen a lot of TikToks about the movie, and I've heard that the movie itself and the domestic violence portrayed within it drew audible gasps within the movie theaters and then sobs from people as well. So marketing it as this is irresponsible. Her character's name in the film is Lily Bloom, and she has been wearing a floral. Critique here would be that it's not about you.
You don't often see messy women in film. I feel like this is a film that's important to be made because just as an actor, I am not often given the opportunity to tell the story of a woman that really experiences the entire spectrum of female or any human experience, you know? Like when you experience pain or trauma or darkness or sadness, that's your character. Or if you're light and levity and love and joy and hope, then that's your character. You don't often see a woman that gets to be so multifaceted because you don't often see messy women in film. And so to be able to be a woman who's contradicting herself, but yet it makes complete sense, and seeing the messiness of the human experience, I think, is a beautiful thing to see because it makes people feel seen and not alone. And I know that's how I felt when I...
However, Lively's marketing campaigns have come under fire, with some claiming that some of the tactics were offensive considering the film's weighty subjects. For instance, the introduction of a hair care line and themed cocktails like You Wait, which alluded to a contentious character, caused backlash. Debates concerning the appropriateness of such tie-ins were sparked by the perception held by many that these marketing prioritized financial gain over the film's main message.
place, I can't really speak to the entire movie, but specifically for this one scene, the only time that we did see her was like specifically when she was filming. I want to say she pulled up like 10 minutes before shooting, discussed a little bit, and then the cameras were rolling, and then pretty quickly cleared out. But I honestly don't know how much interaction she had with bystanders. There were a lot of people who wanted autographs, or like a photo, or get their book signed, but they blocked off basically the entire block during the time of filming. So I'm not sure about how any of her interactions went, if there were any at all, but I will say
The conflict between Balani and Lively started in December 2024 when Lively filed a complaint alleging wrongdoing on the production of It Ends With Us. According to Lively, she engaged in inappropriate behavior while filming, including asking personal questions and acting impolitely.
Baldoni's lawsuit is 179 pages, so in case you don't have time to read through it all, I want to read you a direct quote from the complaint that essentially summarizes everything that Baldoni is alleging. He says, "Lively wields immense power as one of the world's best-known celebrities. She set out to destroy plaintiffs' livelihoods and businesses if they did not bend to her incessant demands, and when they refused to give way, she did exactly that, accusing them of foul and reprehensible misconduct." Now, I reached out to Baldoni's attorney, who tells me that they have copious amounts of text messages and emails and other evidence that they say proves that Baldoni did nothing wrong. I reached out to a representative for Blake and Ryan. They have not responded yet.
We're going to be talking all things Blake Lively and her legal complaint that she's filed against her It Ends With Us co-star, Justin Baldoni. Yes, the It Ends With Us movie drama does in fact not end. What's interesting about this story to me is the Justin Baldoni of it all. He is a self-proclaimed male feminist. He's woke. He speaks out against sexual assault and sexual harassment, even toxic masculinity. And now in this legal complaint filed by Blake Lively, he's being accused of sexual harassment.
I challenge you to see if you can use the same qualities that you feel make you a man to go deeper into yourself. And will you be man enough to stand up to other men when you hear locker room talk, when you hear stories of sexual harassment, when you hear your boys talking about grabbing ass or getting her drunk? Will you actually stand up and do something so that one day we don't have to live in a world where a woman has to risk everything and come forward to say the words "me too"?
This is going to be really awkward if these allegations are true. I will say, just for the record, I'm not a fan of either of these individuals, and something about both of them rubs me.
Balani responded by bringing a countersuit, alleging that Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds had attempted to harm his reputation and defame him. In addition to captivating the public, this legal back and forth has spurred conversations about power relations in the entertainment business, workplace ethics, and the difficulties experienced by those who come out with accusations against well-known people.
Baldoni is now involving Taylor Swift in his lawsuit against Blake Lively. So Justin Baldoni is suing Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicists for over $400 million for all the It Ends With Us drama. Now he's name-dropping Taylor Swift, Blake's bestie, in the mix. Thankfully, Taylor Swift is not being sued, but she's mentioned in his 179-page paper complaint, and he's alleging that Taylor's fame was used to pressure him during production. And it really all stems from this penthouse situation where Blake and Ryan live. Apparently there was a meeting there with all of them, and Taylor Swift was actually present, and Blake ended up rewriting one of the scenes. And even after the meeting was over, Baldoni texted Blake this, saying, "I gotta put my glasses on for this one, the font is too small. Also was working on the rooftop scene today. Really love what you did. Makes it so much more fun and interesting, and I would have felt the same way without Ryan and Taylor."
This was a sinister PR move. Blake Lively then moved 11 days later to file a lawsuit. So now she has filed a lawsuit. And I don't think she ever wanted to do this. I think she genuinely wanted this to be a PR move, and she wanted to leak it to the New York Times. She thought the public would take her side with no questions asked. And instead the public is saying, no, we have a few questions here. And Justin Baldoni is going all the way to the wall on this. His lawyer is already giving interviews explaining just how nasty her team has played this. The lawyer's name is Brian Friedman. He stopped by the Megyn Kelly show, and here's some of the things that he had to say. First, he says there used to never be a claim. There never was a sexual claim until she went to that civil rights office. Take a listen.
There was actually no allegation of sexual harassment until
Ryan Reynolds' Lively's husband is also embroiled in the legal dispute. According to Balani, Reynolds initially showed admiration for him during the filming of It Ends With Us and even sent messages of support. However, tensions reportedly arose when Reynolds attempted to take over and rewrite the movie script, a move that Baloni resisted. Baloney claims that this refusal caused Reynolds to turn against Lively, further complicating the parties' professional relationship.
Ryan Reynolds is backing his wife Blake Lively 100%, but his claims on Justin Baldoni are being proved false where Justin Baldoni just exposed him. And in 2024, doing the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds introduced the character of Nice Pool, saying it was his own creation. The character of Nice Pool had one interesting line where he was talking about the character Lady Deadpool, which was voiced by Blake Lively, saying she just had a baby but still looks good. And because of that, Blake Lively's It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni has come out saying the character of Nice Pool was created just to make fun of him, and that line was used to bring up the idea that Justin Baldoni was critical of Blake Lively's post-pregnancy weight. Since that movie came out, nobody's been celebrating despite it making $351 million, with Blake Lively suing Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment and Ryan Reynolds supporting her. Now Justin Baldoni has come out against Ryan Reynolds, pointing out that Ryan Reynolds actually liked him throughout the entire process of filming and even texted Justin Baldoni at one point saying, "I just happen to adore you." Justin Baldoni's claim is that Ryan Reynolds actually loved Baldoni until Ryan Reynolds wanted to take over and do a rewrite of the script, which he wouldn't allow, and then after that point Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds turned on him. Because that, Justin Baldoni is suing Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds for $400.
Lively's request for 2 years of Ballon's records implies that she lacks substantial evidence. If she did, she would have concentrated on the 2 months prior to bringing the complaint. Additionally, since people use their phones in ways that could bolster her accusations, there is a greater likelihood that anything strange will be discovered.
Thousands of pages that were handed over by Blake's team in order to confirm the details to publish in the New York Times, right? Except she wants to subpoena all of their phone records, including locations, text message, regardless of the recipient, regardless of the subject matter, dating back 2 years. Which to me tells me, one, she clearly doesn't have any evidence to prove this if she's had at least 2 months now since the filing of her original complaint to try and pull something together, right? To pull a rabbit out of the hat. But if we're going to go back 2 years, she's saying that what, this alleged smear campaign dated back 2 years against her? That doesn't sound like she's looking for evidence. That sounds like she's looking for dirt. Sounds like her legal team plans to comb through all of the phone records to find something incriminating. Now, this is my own speculation, my own theory. I'm not stating this as fact, but it kind of sounds like they want to dig up some info to maybe strong arm Baldoni's legal team. Because why else would you want access?
Amid a continuing issue, Blake Lively was at the epicenter of a media frenzy in February 2025 after a heated, while the image was intended to symbolize the actor's legal battle, it received harsh criticism for being deemed insensitive and for appearing to minimize grave accusations. The Hollywood Reporter cover shows Lively using a catapult to shoot a cell phone at her co-star Justin Baldoni, who was holding a copy of their movie's source material.
Lampooning her article. So the statement says, in addition, let me start at the beginning here. Here's the statement. It says, the framing in this picture is outrageously insulting as it plays into every trope about women who dare to file a workplace complaint, turning them into the aggressor and suggesting they deserve the retaliation that comes their way. In addition, the story is extremely offensive as it incredibly seems to explain away documented examples of SH and retaliation by calling them cultural misunderstandings. This statement from her is unbelievable. This woman is the most tone deaf and ridiculous. I can't even. What examples are you?
The spokesman for Lively denounced the cover as egregiously offensive, claiming it perpetuates stereotypes about women who lodge complaints at work by depicting them as aggressors and suggesting they should face reprisals. The representative also took issue with the accompanying piece for ostensibly dismissing recorded cases of misconduct and retaliation as cultural misunderstandings.
Sharing.
What is problematic about this? Well, let me tell you what the former Keeper of Dragons thinks. The framing in this picture is outrageously insulting as it plays into every trope about women who dare file a workplace complaint, turning them into the aggressor and suggesting they deserve the retaliation that comes their way. Delulu Lively knows exactly what she's doing.
By implying that the recorded incidents of misconduct and retaliation were only cultural misunderstandings, the accompanying article made matters worse. Lively's team was outraged by this story, with her spokesman highlighting how it downplays the seriousness of the accusations and undercuts the experiences of people who are subjected to wrongdoing. The piece was perceived as contemptuous and diminishing the validity of Lively's claims by presenting grave charges as straightforward misunderstandings.
Yesterday, I told you all that The Hollywood Reporter shared what I think is one of the most important reads to help us understand what truly happened on the set of their movie. But Bossy Blake is not a fan of the piece. In fact, the expert in taking zero accountability is attacking the respected Hollywood trade publication. A rep for the aspiring lawyer who has taken authorship of her court case has said, quote, "The Hollywood Reporter should be ashamed of itself." Not only do they take issue with the article itself, but also with the image used to promote the latest issue. They've got it on the cover, and it looks like this. Bum, bum, bum. Blake versus Baldoni, an exclusive look behind the battle lines of Hollywood's uncivil war.
The cover illustration, the biblical story of David and Goliath, served as the inspiration for the artistic decision, which was widely criticized for being insensitive and for trivializing the seriousness of the legal battle. Critics contended that employing such a metaphor reduces the difficult and complex realities of misconduct and defamation to a crude and offensive caricature.
Yesterday, The Hollywood Reporter dropped this insane cover. Blake vs. Baldoni, an exclusive look behind the battle lines of Hollywood's uncivil war. Clearly, there's a lot going on in this cover. When I saw this cover, I knew that Blake Lively was going to be upset, but I didn't expect her to comment on it so publicly. A spokesperson for Blake Lively said The Hollywood Reporter should be ashamed of itself. The framing of this picture is outrageously insulting as it plays into every trope about a woman who dare file a workplace complaint, turning them into the aggressor and suggesting they deserve the retaliation.
However, it has been reported in her complaint that a number of women expressed disapproval of Justin Baldwin's conduct on set, escalating the controversy surrounding him. According to insiders, Lively allegedly revealed the identities of two actresses who she claimed had problems with Baldwini, but sources later denied these claims as untrue.
The soon-to-be former actress thinks that she is smarter than us. I hate to break it to you, Nepo baby, but we are not dumb. Most people can clearly see that this is a reference to David versus Goliath. I think The Hollywood Reporter has been watching my videos or any of the interviews where I've spoken about this, and I've repeatedly compared it to a modern day David versus Goliath. Just imagine her husband right behind her head.
Well, it looks like Blake Lively is furious about the Hollywood Reporter cover that came out yesterday. I think we've all seen the cover. Blake even had one of her representatives make a public statement about the cover, and wait until you guys hear what this representative said. So yesterday, The Hollywood Reporter dropped this insane cover. Blake vs. Baldoni, an exclusive look behind the battle lines of Hollywood's uncivil war. Clearly, there's a lot going on in this cover. I made a whole separate video about all of the symbolism if you are interested in that. When I saw this cover, I knew that Blake Lively was going to be upset, but I didn't expect her to comment on it so publicly. A spokesperson for Blake Lively said The Hollywood Reporter should be ashamed of itself. The framing of this picture is outrageously insulting as it plays into every trope about a woman who
According to sources, the two actresses listed in the case are Jenny Slate and Isabella Farah. Although they allegedly wanted to be anonymous, the amended lawsuit at first did not reveal their identities since they allegedly did not want to be publicly involved.
An amended complaint that is 141 pages long. She added 48 pages to her initial complaint that she first filed back in December. The big bombshell here, according to Blake Lively, is that there were other women on the set who were also made to feel uncomfortable by Baldoni's alleged behavior. Blake Lively claims in this new updated complaint that another female co-star who is unnamed in this complaint, that she actually reported this behavior to Sony, which was the distributor behind this film. Now, I have reached out to Baldoni's team. We have not heard back, but you see there that they say that he did not hold himself accountable after this was reported, and instead that he used a louder voice, it goes on to say, to silence Blake Lively and anyone else.
According to a representative for Lively, these witnesses had granted permission to reveal their communications, but detractors contend that they were singled out to bolster Lively's argument and deflect attention from her and Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, the two women are actresses Jenny Slate and Isabella Ferrer, who could not immediately be reached for comment. So it just goes into who they are. But what's crazy is they did not want to be named. So when her amended lawsuit dropped, everybody was like what? Like you're just saying that other women felt uncomfortable, but they're not willing to share any of their information. They don't want to join the lawsuit. They don't want to be named. You can't share text, nothing like.
Do you believe Lively was truly standing up for others, or did she go too far? Post your thoughts in the comments section below.